All right, if you drive in Vietnam, you're going to want to listen up. Starting January 1st, 2025, the rules of the road are getting a major shakeup. We're talking about a complete overhaul of traffic fines. And trust me, they are getting much, much stricter. So here's the big question you've got to ask yourself. How much could a simple mistake on the road actually cost you? A little slip up, something you might not even think twice about today, could soon hit your wallet harder than you can possibly imagine. Let's get into what that really means. In this breakdown, we're going to cover everything. We'll start with the common, everyday violations that are about to get a whole lot more expensive. Then, we'll get into the massive penalties for drinking and driving. We'll even look at some surprising new fines for just parking your vehicle, and the brand new system that could actually get your license taken away. So, first up, let's talk about these new rules. This isn't just some small tweak. This is a whole new legal framework, officially called Government Decree 168, and it has one crystal clear goal: to seriously ramp up road safety and make drivers more accountable. And here it is, the official document itself. This thing lays out every violation and penalty in detail. You know, the government's message here is pretty direct. The easygoing days are over. Enforcement is about to get very, very serious. Okay, so what does this actually mean for your daily commute? Let's dive into the common stuff. The violations that, let's be honest, happen all the time. But now, these little mistakes come with a much heavier price tag. Let's kick things off with a big one: speeding. I think we've all been tempted to push it a little bit, right? Well, under these new rules, that temptation is about to get ridiculously expensive. And just look at these numbers. I mean, they're staggering. If you're in a car and you go more than 35 kilometers an hour over the limit, you're looking at a fine up to 14 million Vietnamese dong. On a motorbike, going just 20 kilometers an hour too fast can cost you up to 8 million. Even running a red light in a car will set you back as much as 6 million. These are not small changes. Yeah, let that number sink in for a second. 14 million dong. For a lot of people, a single bad speeding ticket could cost more than their entire monthly salary. This is the government's way of saying they are done playing games with reckless driving. Okay, now we need to talk about the most serious offenses: driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs. And if you thought those speeding fines were high, well, brace yourself, because these penalties are on a completely different planet. The policy here is incredibly simple and incredibly strict. It's called zero tolerance. That means if there is any detectable amount of alcohol in your system, or any illegal drug for that matter, you are breaking the law. There's no such thing as a safe limit anymore. The only safe number is 0, period. And the consequences are just wow. For the highest level of alcohol, a car driver is looking at a fine up to 40 million dong and losing their license for up to 2 full years. And here's the really crucial part: driving with any narcotics in your system, or even just refusing to take the breathalyzer or drug test, carries the exact same maximum penalty. There is absolutely no way to talk your way out of this one. 40 million dong. I mean, think about that. In a lot of cases, that is way more than the value of the actual vehicle being driven. It is a life-changing amount of money, and it's designed to be. The goal is simple: get impaired drivers off the road. The fine is one thing, but losing your license for 2 years, that changes everything. Okay, so you're not speeding, you haven't had a drink, you're all good, right? Well, not so fast. Let's talk about parking and stopping, because you can now get hit with an absolutely massive fine even when your car isn't even moving. Honestly, this one is pretty surprising. Just parking your car in a bad spot that causes a traffic jam? That could cost you up to 6 million dong. But the real jaw-dropper is at the top of this list. Stopping or parking your car on a highway is now in the same fine category as extreme speeding, up to 14 million dong. It's a huge move to stop one of the most dangerous things people do on highways. But look, as high as these fines are, they're not the only thing you have to worry about anymore. The new rules are bringing in a system that can take you off the road completely, no matter how much money you have. It's called the Driver's License Demerit System. So here's how it works. It's pretty simple. Every driver starts with a fresh, clean slate of 12 points on their license. When you get caught for a violation, you don't just pay a fine, you also lose points. And if you keep making mistakes and your points hit 0, your license is suspended, gone. And it's a real slippery slope. A few bad decisions, a few tickets here and there, and you could find yourself at 0 points before you know it. Once that happens, your license is suspended. And to get it back, you don't just wait it out. You have to literally go back to school, retake the entire traffic law test, and prove you've actually learned your lesson. Whew, okay, we've covered a lot of ground. So let's boil this all down to the final takeaway. What are the 3 things you absolutely have to remember before you get behind the wheel in 2025? First, the fines are severe. They're not messing around. We're talking a maximum of 40 million dong. Second, the zero tolerance rule for alcohol and drugs is key. There's no wiggle room. Any amount is illegal. And third, your actual license is now on the line. With the new 12-point system, it's not just about paying a fine and moving on. Repeat mistakes will get you taken off the road. And all of this leaves us with one big final question. These are, without a doubt, some of the strictest traffic rules Vietnam has ever put in place. The fines are huge, the consequences are serious. So is this finally the moment? Will this be the turning point that makes the country's roads significantly safer for everyone? I guess only time will tell.